Hello, welcome to the IDC in 5. This is a program that gives you the opportunity to interact with the IDC. On the program today, we respond to a question from Charlotte.
What is the financial health for the IDC, and does the IDC have plans for loss-making entities? And finally, does IDC sell equity shares in its companies?
To respond to Charlotte, I have on the program Mr. Siakakai Siameja, the Chief Portfolio Officer here at the IDC.
The financial health of the companies that are managed by the IDC vary. So some are profitable, others are just about to break even, and others are in a loss-making position. These companies that are held by the IDC is a custodial relationship between the companies and the people of Zambia. So IDC holds these companies in trust for the people of Zambia. You realize that many of these companies are struggling. Those are struggle because of maybe old infrastructure, old and inefficient methods that they're using to produce maybe outdated technology. Unless they're profitable, they're unable to invest in their infrastructure, in technology, in their employees, because they're not able to cover those costs, and so the cycle will remain. The only way to break the cycle is by a fresh injection of capital, or by them becoming profitable and retaining some of that profit to make investments into the company. There are three keystone strategies that we employ. Number one, on governance. It has been shown elsewhere that good governance usually results in better performance. And so we want to strengthen the boards of all these entities. So now I think you'll have noticed that all the entities have boards in place, all of them. And in our selection of board members, we're looking for people who are competent, whose skills actually match to the entities in which they are serving. So we're looking for both in industry experience related to management, and turning these entities around. So far, we're seeing some results and some improvements, and we hope that going forward now, we can refine these reforms now, make small tweaks to ensure that they're delivering the results that we expect. Number two, enhanced oversight. You will note that now all the entities have a performance management contract in place. It's a tool that we're using that we hold the board and the management accountable to us. So at the beginning of every year, we set out goals for each and every company, what they need to achieve from the financial perspective, governance, learning and growth, and other perspectives that are within those contracts. The third aspect talks about the capitalization and restructuring. You will note that many of these companies are saddled with what is termed as legacy debt that has been sitting on the balance sheets for many, many years. So this is another area that we are focusing on for all the entities that have these obligations. We're speaking with our many stakeholders to see how we can restructure these obligations and also bring in fresh capital. So we're looking at all options that can work for the best of these companies. To make a correction, we have not sold equity shares or stocks in these companies, but they have taken a stake. We have not received any consideration, as it were, for these positions that they hold, but we've actually opened up their shareholding so that they can invest in the company. So this capital that comes into the company doesn't come to the IDC, but is reinvested in the company. A very important distinction, actually. Now, there are many avenues, like I said, of investing in a company. Yes, we can get loans, which we have been primarily used by many companies. They get loans, but loans tend to impose a burden on companies because there is a set repayment period, whereas the company may need some time to actually get to be viable again or to be profitable. So it will affect the impact on profitability. There's also listing, like Safico, who are listed, Zanaco, ZCCMIH, who are listed on the stock exchange. That is a common way of, one, bringing capital in the company, two, and allowing wider public participation in this company. So when we talk about ownership, it's not just being owned by the IDC on behalf of the Zambian people, but the Zambian people can directly take ownership in these entities. We can also do rights issues. Many companies have issued rights, issued more shares to allow shareholders to come in. That's another way. You can have a company such as Zafico, for example, who want to expand, want to go in a particular area and want to raise more money. They can issue shares to invite other partners, technical or just strategic equity partners, to come and invest and bring in their capital and focus the particular growth. And this should not be strange at all. It is commonplace the world over. We're not selling, they're just bringing capital and taking a bit of the shareholding. May help the entity to actually now begin to realize its potential, not just speak about it.
There is hope that through these strategies, the IDC will turn around the non-profit making subsidiaries. This is Charles Chulu, and I'll see you in the next conversation.